Happy Friday, Lakeshore family. Uh, I want to encourage you on this Friday. I'm not sure about you, but I have had moments where I wanted to say, I'm done, I've had enough of this. Especially when my kids are fighting, or when they're buried in schoolwork, or when I just personally feel frustrated about things that are beyond my control. And every time I am reminded of the passage in 1 Kings 19 when Elijah fled to Beersheba during Ahab and Jezebel's reign. So there's a moment that he journeys into the wilderness and he said, I've had enough, Lord. And he falls to the ground in despair. And in that moment, Elijah felt alone and invaluable and exhausted from feeling like he was the only one left who worshiped the Lord. And I'm sure there have been times in your life where you felt, I've had enough, Lord. Your spirit feels lonely or exhausted, or you feel invaluable, or your prayers don't seem to get answered. But I want to encourage you because the Bible tells us that the Lord identifies with our weakness. He knows every detail of our being. He knows every thought in our head, the number of our days, and there's nowhere that we can escape His presence. Psalm 139 is one of my favorite passages. It's a beautiful picture of how much God loves us and reminds us that we are never alone. Verse 5 says, you hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Verse 7 says, where I go, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? And my favorite verse 13 says, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. What a treasure it is to know that He surrounds us and holds us in His hands, and that no matter the circumstance, He will never leave us. And there's no place where we can go that He's not there. You know, one of the greatest blessings in my ministry so far is seeing preteens come to a place of brokenness before the feet of Jesus. And I say brokenness in the sense that they have set their ego aside and their wants aside, and the Spirit was able to move in and just work through them. You know, one girl in the mission trip shared that she had felt somebody put a hand on her shoulder and tell her that she needed to submit and to be praying. Another girl was so broken from the lyrics of a song because she was overwhelmed by realizing the extent of just how much Jesus loved her. So like Elijah, they had come to a point of recognizing that they couldn't do their ministry apart from the Spirit. And during those times, and easy times as well, the Lord can speak to us and use us, but only if we're in tune to His voice. There have been times in my life where I felt like saying, I've had enough, Lord. But I know that I am fully surrounded by His presence. When I see no hope, I feel useless, I'm exhausted, and when there seems to be no answer to my prayers, I know that He is there to heal that brokenness so that I can pursue the purpose that He has for my life. I just need to be listening for His voice. So I want to encourage you in this. Time and time again, the Spirit moves in us and through us in our lowest and most exhausting moments. So when you're tempted to say, I've had enough, Lord, remember you are surrounded by a Creator God who knows everything about you and will use those low moments for His glory, because in truth, there is nowhere you can go where you are not in His presence. I hope you have a great weekend.